We've got baseball for you on a sunny Sunday afternoon here in St. Louis. Today it's the Pirates and the Cardinals here from Busch Stadium. It's the series finale, and the Cardinals have taken the first two games. They're very much in the hunt in the NL Central. The Pirates trying to play spoilers here this afternoon on this Sunday. And welcome into the booth. Joe Block and Bob Walk with you here today. The Pirates will have some reinforcements to try to beat the Cardinals here today as they call up 6 players, and namely Tyler Glasnow, who has already come up earlier this season, but improved down at AAA, especially with that walk total.
Yeah, really, you've seen the dominating stats all through his minor league career, all the way from A-ball up, where no minor leaguers could even touch him. Obviously, there's the stats from this year. It has continued. ERA down in the ones. Look at the strikeout numbers. But I agree with you, Joe. The walk numbers per 9 innings are now looking pretty good. If he can get that to translate up here at this level, I think he's really got something going for him. Also, what I'd like to see is a little more consistency in that fastball velocity.
And we'll see if he gets another start here down the stretch for the Buccos, who also bring up 5 other guys, or maybe a couple of lefty specialists trying out, a third catcher, and a couple guys we've already seen out of the bullpen this year.
Well, in September baseball, when you're out of the hunt, it can look a little bit like spring training. You got all kinds of guys now up here on this roster, and so we're going to see a lot of pitchers go out there and get a shot at showing what they can do. One guy I'm going to be keeping my eye on is Santana. I think he's got a great arm, good slider, chance to be a back-end guy maybe someday.
Yeah, we love what we saw from him in spring training and earlier this season as well. We've seen a little bit of him. We'll see a lot of the regulars too, as well as Andrew McCutchen in that familiar free spot here today. He'll face Michael Walker. Perhaps a good matchup for him. We'll find out next here on AT Sportsnet. Series finale coming up in just a few minutes. The Pirates and the Cardinals here from Busch Stadium. And St. Louis going to go with Michael Walker today, as Walker kind of an up and down year for him. We know him. He can be very good, but has had periods where he's been very good and other times where he's been so far this season.
Yeah, the Pirates, in fact, the last couple of years, you can see the numbers there. I mean, the ERA is almost 6. That gives you some hope for today that that's the pitcher you're going to see. But he has pitched decent here at Busch this year. 7 wins, a 3.45 ERA, and 14 starts. So not real sure which Waka we're going to see. Hopefully it's the one up there that has struggled against the Pirates this year.
Yeah, the Pirates have fared well against them, and so has Andrew McCutchen. And Kutch has been off to a slow go of it over the last few weeks, but maybe this will get him going here today.
Yeah, you would like to have him go up there and get somebody that he's done well in the past against, get some confidence. To me, with Kutch, talked about this a little bit in yesterday's game. It's more about his pop in his bat than really, using the whole field, making contact, getting base hits. He needs to be driving the ball a little bit more. The home runs. I mean, that's kind of what's missing. Maybe he'll find that today.
We'll see if we'll see some good pitching from Ivan Nova. He skipped his last start. Will the rest pay off for him? We'll find out coming up. Pirates and the Cardinals here from St. Louis. Was skipped, and trying to get him some extra rest, and throughout his career I've been a little bit better with that extra rest. You see the numbers there, 3.29 ERA when he's gotten 6 or more days off, so maybe a little blow will help him, because he has not been the same Ivan Nova we saw in the first half of this season.
Yeah, it's kind of been a slow deterioration of his control as much as anything else, and that has really been a problem here the second half of the season. Not control like he's walking everybody, but control in the strike zone hasn't been the same, and that's a huge part of his game. Maybe not as many ground balls as we saw early on, so hopefully a little rest rejuvenates that right arm of his, and he'll have that fastball that he commands to every spot of the strike zone back today.
And his battery mate today will be Elias Diaz, who we've seen a lot of in September. The only times that he hasn't started is when Garrett Cole has pitched, and then Chris Stewart has caught him. So Diaz getting a better look and see what he's all about.
Yeah, and I think mainly it's to help him get more looks. I mean, he needs to catch these guys and really become familiar with what their fastballs do. Is it dart left, dart right? Remember early on he was having a little trouble back there. Now I see that smoothing out. Now he's getting all these reps behind the plate, and also we got a ton of games against the Central Division. Pays the dividends to getting behind the plate. Let him see these guys.
So Diaz and Nova, and foretelling what we might have in store here today. Let's check back in with our studios. Dan Potash has a game break.
Baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, the largest health system rated #1 in the region for all the things that matter most. And by Kenny Ross Subaru, total confidence pricing. Let's go Bucks!
Matt Carpenter over at third base again today. The Cardinals looking for a sweep. Pirates try to prevent that, as the Cardinals have moved to within 3 games of first place Chicago. And first, the Buccos will try their hands against the Cardinals today. The RAV4 lineup for the Pirates: Starling Marte atop the order with Max Moroff back in the lineup at second. Andrew McCutchen will bat third. Josh Bell cleans up. David Freese at third base bats fifth. John Jaso gets a start. Good career numbers against Waka. Diaz the catcher. Mercer eighth, and then Ivan Nova. Starling Marte ready to start things against Michael Waka of the Cardinals.
Take a look there. Waka's numbers, as you said, he has been up and down in the ERA. Is a little bit over into the 4s. Not something that he normally likes to see, but it is what it is, and too late to really change things much now.
Now, these days, that's above average.
Yeah, when you're when you get into September, though, you're going to move that ERA much unless you throw about 3 shutouts in a row.
And now the Honda defense for St. Louis. Harrison Bader gets the start, the rookie. In center field with Grichuk and Piscotty. On either end, Carpenter, DeYoung, Wong, and Martinez, and Yadier Molina doing the catching for St. Louis. Sun-splashed Sunday here in St. Louis. Final time the Pirates visit Busch Stadium this season. They'll still entertain the Cardinals back at PNC Park during the final homestand. Trying to get Marte going too. We talked about Andrew McCutchen a moment ago. He's not really driving the ball as much. Marte, very much the same thing. He is seeing very little extra base power from him over the last few weeks. Something that was a big strength for him last year. Doubles, triples, and some home runs. Pirates will have 19 games remaining, including today, so a chance to finish strong over the final 3 weeks.
You know, since we're in September and a lot of talk about next year, and talking about guys, trying to find some pop, get the power, drive the ball back. That certainly is a goal, I think, for next season, is to find a lineup that has more power and will hit a few more home runs.
That one hit well out to right, and Piscotty with just enough room.
Tips. I'll finish up my thought after we do the tips. It's Rivers Casino tips to win. Be ready on first down. One of the things that Walker does do here at home, which makes him a better home pitcher, he's very aggressive with the first pitch. Throws fastball strikes at a much higher percentage than he does on the road. So you got to be ready right away when you climb in there for that first pitch. And Nova, at first 19 starts this year, he went 6 or more every single start except one. And in his last 8 starts, he's not hardly seeing the 6th inning at all. So that's the main thing, I think, with him, is to try and get some length out of him, and hopefully that rest will pay off in that regard.
Max Moroff in there again today. He was seeing a lot of playing time down the stretch. Yeah, if you can just get some of these guys trending upward as the season ends. Moroff down on strikes.
But as far as those home runs go, I know that this year there's a little, kind of built-in excuse with Jung Ho not being here all year, and I think 25 home runs out of him
easily, yeah,
would have been great. He maybe could even have got 30 out of him. So I mean, that's one thing that you can look at for this season to say, well, yeah, the home runs are going to be down anyway. But all around baseball, home runs are up, and we need to take part in that. So hopefully next year we can get a few more long balls.
Down underneath it. And Grichuk will retire McCutchen for the final out. 10-pitch inning for Michael Wacha. And St. Louis will come to bat here at the first. in the bottom of the first. Not a cloud in the sky here today. How it's meant to be. Baseball on a Sunday. And the Cardinals lineup. Mike Matheny puts Matt Carpenter back atop the order with Colton Wong and then Paul DeJong. Jose Martinez, the talented rookie, in the cleanup role again today. There's Matheny with Molina batting fifth. Piscotty, Bader, Grichuk, and then Michael Wacha. I don't usually see the outfielders so low in the order.
Yeah, usually that's your offense is the outfield. Nova's numbers on the year. ERA has climbed up into the 4s now. Just 11. You might be able to move that into the 3s here in the last month. Get a couple of good games in a row.
3 more starts, probably something like that. And he'll face a couple of lefties to start things, and that's been a challenge for Nova as the year has gone on. Trying to challenge the lefties, but mostly right-handed bats in the Cardinals lineup today. The final 7 in the order. Cardinals just don't have that many lefty bats. And so that could play into Nova's favor here today. They'll try that changeup against lefties, and it's been a pitch that they've been able to hit fairly well when it's been put in play this year. But the curveball's been tough, but really, like you said, Bob, that the difference with him is where he puts that fastball.
Yeah,
which is most pitchers.
His control was good, and a lot of times you see something like that and you think, well, he's just trying to throw the ball down the middle. He's trying not to walk people, but that wasn't the case with Nova. If that's the case, then the base hits are going to be way up.
And they have been since then, but early on, right? I mean, he was unhittable. There were very few home runs.
Came up when the control actually started getting worse. But occasionally you'll see somebody with a real low walk numbers, but it's a sacrifice. It's kind of a trade-off they make. They're going to give up more hits than they have innings pitched because of that.
Jeff Samardzija is a great example. The Giants pitcher leads only Nova in walk rate, but has given up a lot of hits. Good start. Locating the fastball to strike out. Carpenter looking. Total leadoff man is gone, and the defense for the Pirates today, that's Max Moroff at second base. Jordy Mercer, his double play partner. Freese and Bell on the corners with Marte McCutcheon and John Jaso in right. And the battery mate of Mr. Nova is Elias Diaz today. 8th start in his last 9 games. Colton Wong, who had been bothered with a back concern, in the lineup for the 2nd straight day. Now 2 balls and a strike to Wong, and on the caps today, the U.S. flag is there. That is to memorialize 9/11, taking place 16 years ago tomorrow. And so today and tomorrow, baseball will wear the U.S. flag on the caps. So in case you're wondering why, there it is on the Cardinals caps. Full on Wong. And Nova against lefty batters in that April, where he was the National League Pitcher of the Month, outstanding 193 against him, but 328 since the beginning of May.
And we're our 2nd hitter of the game based on balls, and he's thrown a dozen pitches already to just 2 hitters. So that Neither one of those things did we see from him at all early on, and then that's all been second half of the season type stuff.
Now the walk rate coming in second fewest walks per 9 innings in the National League, but it was to a point where it was almost going to be record setting early on. That probably wasn't going to continue, but we have seen him pitch or throw a few pitches in innings, pitching to contact, getting through. Or maybe it'll help with the next 7 hitters, all righties.
It seemed like early in the year too, when he needed that ground ball, he'd get it. So here's a spot where you're looking for the ground ball.
Still can tidy it up and make it a fairly brisk inning. Young with good power though.
Hook ball, come on, hook.
Foul ball.
Gotta talk to him like that sometimes.
I think you helped that.
Occasionally they will listen. Sometimes they don't.
There's a little lazy breeze blowing out to left, and that might have just helped it enough.
Oh, let's see the ball start to move. It started to listen right there at the end. Thank you. That would not have been a good way to start the game.
Yeah, there's that breeze, but just had that spin on it that was coerced by you.
It never hurts to talk to him.
Yeah. Curve missing makes it 1-2 on DeYoung. 21 home runs in an abbreviated season. They didn't get called up right away. This is only his 89th ball game.
Pretty amazing how they've come up with the 2 young shortstops back to back seasons like this.
Yeah, Aledmys Diaz last year came out of nowhere. Wasn't even on the opening day roster. Called up the first week of the season.
An all-star, right?
Yeah, goes to the All-Star game. And now he didn't even get a September call-up this year after being sent to the minors.
One-hit wonder, maybe.
Yeah, Cardinals will have it seems like they have a lot of young guys that come up. Now some of them stick around, of course, but then they'll have some guys. Jeremy Hazelbaker comes to mind. It set the world on fire for a month or two, and then never hear from him again. Now DeYoung, will he have the pedigree to stick around, because that kind of power, especially at shortstop, that can play if he can keep that up. 4th round pick 2 years ago. Can anybody get there? Diaz pulled up. He thought maybe.
But nobody did.
Yeah.
The answer was yes, somebody could get there, but nobody did.
Yeah, I think he thought Freese was going to take control, but that was closer to Diaz.
Freese may have not seen the ball. Freese is looking straight up into the sun right now. I mean, he started slowing down by the coach's box. I don't think he had a good look at it. But he's looking dead into the sun where that ball was.
He's got the flip ups, so he can still flip those down, but still trying to locate the ball and looking into the sun. There's in the cloud in the sky today.
It wasn't very high, so if he had a hard time picking it back up, let's say after he flipped down the glasses, if you're out in the outfield, you got time to pick the ball up. That little shallow pop fly, to get there, he would have had to gone straight to the exact spot as fast as he could go. And I think once he lost it for a moment, then he had no chance.
Yeah. Whereas Diaz maybe a step or two closer.
That's a much harder play for him.
Yes.
For the catcher.
Sinker just missing.
Theoretically, yeah, either one could have maybe made the play, but everything would have had to gone perfect.
Or maybe it didn't miss. Ray Searage, Pirates pitching coach. Wong with 6 steals in 8 tries, so trying to keep him honest. And a base hit for DeYoung. Wong will stop at second. St. Louis with 2 aboard here and 1 out. Already 19 pitches from Nova. All 3 plate appearances have gone fairly deep, and after getting Carpenter looking on strikes.
You're still looking for that double play ball in these scenarios that not only get you out of the inning but clean up your pitch count a little bit. 2 outs, 1 pitch. Still available.
Now Jose Martinez, who's been in the cleanup role the whole series. A 29-year-old rookie whose 10-game hitting streak ended last night. There's Tyler Glasnow, and he and the Indianapolis Ball Club, who were eliminated last night from their postseason run, losing the series 3-1 to Durham. Altoona is still in the mix. They have made the finals in the Eastern League. That'll begin on Tuesday night against Trenton. Now 1-1 on Martinez. Been a part-time player, mostly a backup corner outfielder, but has been playing at first base over the last week or so. Not underneath it. And Jaso with the second out. They're going to run on him. Wong will move up to third.
Jaso did the right thing there. Just throw that ball into second base. Your chance of throwing Wong out at third base is not all that great. But what you want to do for sure is make sure that you don't let another runner get into scoring position. So he just fired the ball right into Jordy.
Jaso with good career numbers against Waka, so in the lineup today. Got Yera Molina. Got to get him with 2 outs. He homered yesterday. Having a fine season at age 35, 8-time All-Star, including this year. Wong at third, DeYoung at first. And ahead 0-2. Nova trying to survive this rough and tumble first inning. Put up a 0. This will be his 25th pitch. Barely missed.
One of those were borderline, didn't get a call.
Home plate umpire Corey Blazer today. Las Diaz over at first. Doug Eddings at second base. And the crew chief is Jeff Nelson. He's over at third. A 2-out, 2-strike hit for Molina. DeYoung will head to third, and the Cardinals lead 1-0.
I thought you took a ball that was down and in. Yeah, it went the other way. That is probably the most difficult pitch there is, to go the other way with the ball that's down and in. Not sure how he shot that one through the hole. Quite a player over the years.
Yeah, he's really picked it back up with the bat again. Ray Searage has to come out for a mound chat here. We have not seen Nova throw this many pitches in an inning very often this year. And still has a chance to get out of it with just 1 run.
Last 8 starts, 5 of them he's gone less than 6 innings, and with all the pitches he's thrown here, 6 innings is going to be well, maybe not quite yet. If he gets over 30 innings in the first, or 30 pitches in the first inning, then 6 innings becomes a very difficult target.
Yeah, you hope that, you know, like a lot of pitchers, you know, you have that first inning, maybe it's a little rough, and then you settle in after that.
Then you have an 8-pitch inning, maybe a 10-pitch inning, and get right back to where you're supposed to be. I mean, that can still happen. But
he'll face Stephen Piscotty here with men at the corners and 2 outs again. He was a strike away from putting up a 0. Molina, who had both hits off Chad Kuhl last night. Kuhl went 6 innings yesterday. Well, the Pirates starting pitching, which has been a strength over long periods of time this year, again pitching well lately. The ERA of 2.6 over the last 8. Some of the starters right there. Happy birthday to Chad Kuhl, turns 25 today. Happy birthday to Gina Weiss of AT Sports Center. Well, and part of our crew, Rick Cubio, makes us sound good all the time. Bob Matter, our engineer, happy birthdays to you as well. It's a popular, very busy day about 9 months ago.
it's like Nova tried to reach back for a little extra on that one. It really lost his release point on it.
30-pitch first inning.
Ray was saying what they did. Would like to get him to do, and thought he'd gotten away from it, was be more upright, to get the downward plane, more leverage back.
Well to right.
Should be routine.
So takes care of the final out. Cardinals get a run. And we're through 1 today. St. Louis up 1-0. Lewis, very glad you're with us here on this Sunday afternoon. And congratulations go out to Greg Brown, who is the Mid-Atlantic Emmy Award winner in the sports analyst play-by-play category. So congratulations. Look at the lowdown there.
It's because even when he's on radio, he's still pushing AT Sportsnet. I mean, that's why how you get those Emmys.
He's a team man,
yeah,
as well as our director today, Andy Costco, winning for the Penguins broadcast Emmy Award for directing, as well as the Pens live unedited sports programming.
Andy,
Emmy for that too. So
excellent.
Congratulations to all the folks involved in the broadcast.
A lot of hard work getting recognized.
Bob, you were a winner in the outstanding award in the field of excellence.
Winner of anything.
Yes.
That's the way I like it.
Yeah. Clint Hurdle got an award, a 4-year contract extension as well. So he and GM Neil Huntington signed up. And Bell is retired. Well, the Pirates have several guys who have had good career numbers against Walker, but so far a crisp start for the Cardinals righty. David Freese grew up here. And still faces a lot of former teammates. Gets a kick out of that, although of course as times change, fewer and fewer of those. Keep you updated on all the scores on the lowdown today. Cleveland a winner in 17 straight. That will be later on. Nationals have an opportunity to clinch today. Shot down to right, base hit. And Piscotty's going to have to hurry to keep Freese from a double. And David in there with a 2-base hit here with 1 out.
Piscotty actually did a pretty good job getting to that ball. Getting the throw in. And I think Freese realized that. He ended up going into second base head first. And right about now, Freese has the play in front of him and he's thinking, oh, I got to hurry. So not knowing that the throw is going to be way offline, he's like, might be close. I got to go head first.
Now Jaso with an RBI chance, trying to tie it. Jaso in there today because of those good career numbers against Walker. Lifetime hitting at 500. 6 for 12 with a home run. It'll be quite the challenge for Clint Hurdle here down the stretch with 35 men on the roster to try to find some playing time. I get some of the regulars and the guys that have been here all year. Get some playing time for them, but also work in some of the younger players that are making their way
We
up.
got like 25 guys on the bench. Well, when you include the bullpen.
Yeah, the Pirates, by my estimation, got 13 men in the bullpen, 12 if Glasnow is going to be sent aside to start. I think they're bigger these days.
Full pens, full dugouts. Might be some guys in the clubhouse watching the game on TV.
So out to left. But Grichuk has the second out. Edgar Santana back up with the Pirates there on the left. Good young arm. Diaz getting a good look at him, and that's been part of the goal in September is kind of evaluate But I like what you said too. Is that it's also for them. It's more for them, really.
Yeah, more than the evaluation is. I don't think, especially listening to Neil, that they pay much attention to that because it is September. It's more about getting these guys experience.
Well, a 1-out double left on for the Pirates. Still trail Michael Walker 1-0. We begin the bottom of the second inning. And take a look at our Allegheny Health Network injury update. Dexter Fowler last night colliding with the wall and bruising that left knee severely enough that Mike Matheny saying that he will be out at least a few days. No structural damage after an MRI taken on Fowler's knee, but certainly out today and probably for the Cardinals next series as well. That allowed Adam Frazier to run around the bases for an inside the park home run. And so we see Harrison Bader in center field. Cardinals really like him. He has had a nice year offensively and can cover some ground out there in center. Also did some baton work apparently down at AAA Memphis. Big hop somehow handled by Freeze. Wow.
Catching the ball and then how about making that quick accurate throw after he realized the ball was in the glove.
That was an extraordinary play by Freeze. Wow.
A horrible hop. He was able to recover, get the ball, and then perfect throw to Bell.
That's the big leagues.
Really came up on him.
That's a big league play.
Checking the sun.
Got the flip ups on.
Thing about the flip ups, flip downs, however you want to call them, they can be very, very dark. I mean, much darker than you would have a normal sunglass. So you really can flip them down and almost look, right up there next to the sun anyway.
Look at our Allegheny Health Network Supermo.
See the last minute correction he made. He moved the glove probably a good 6 or 7 inches right there at the end.
Bell able to come back down on the bag in time. And Freeze has handled the first couple of outs. Hey, you were saying last inning, Bob, about evaluation versus guys getting experience.
Oh yeah, I mean, somebody comes up and has 25 at bats in September and gets a dozen hits and hits a couple home runs. Neil's not going to say, wow, this is going to be our, whatever next
starter,
year. No,
yeah.
that's not the way it works. It might get you on the radar a little bit more than you would be for next spring training. That like, hey, nice September, but what they do in the course of the long summer carries much more weight than what they do in a handful of at-bats or a handful of innings in September. For me, September is about getting these guys that might help you next year. Maybe you'll be on the team. This is a little bonus for them to get them some experience at this level. And I mentioned Diaz, I think, is the best example of that. If he's going to be on your team next year, this is very valuable to have him catching all these games against the National League Central and seeing all these hitters and how they react to all these guys' pitches. And to be honest with you, when Diaz first got up here, I mean, it almost like he looked rusty or something behind the plate. It was jabbing at everything. Yeah. And now that he's gotten some games in a row back there and he knows what everybody's fastball does, he looks much smoother back there and can frame pitches better.
10-pitch inning for Ivan Nova. Now the Pirates trail 1-0.
Day. You might be wondering, what in the world is Rally Cat Appreciation Day? I'm Robbie, it's Mikowski. Well, last month during a ball game, they dealt with a pretty unique situation when a cat invaded the field right into center field. Pretty unique circumstance, something that really doesn't happen much in the game of Major League Baseball, but it happened right in the middle of a game. It was a cat invading the field and wouldn't go away when Yadier Molina was at bat. So yeah, the cat kind of made itself at home. And a member of the grounds crew, that's Lucas Hackman, went out to get it, but not without getting bit and scratched and clawed a few times on the way out. Pretty wild stuff. We're happy to report Lucas was okay. And this is what happened on the next pitch. A Yadier Molina grand slam. So the Cardinals went on to win the game over the Kansas City Royals, and the cat was dubbed the Rally Cat. So in honor of that, people who brought tickets to the Rally Cat theme received a t-shirt with proceeds going to Tony LaRussa's Animal Rescue Foundation and the St. Louis Feral Cat Outreach. Joe, one of those things where one of those odd moments happen at a ballpark, and as you've said many a times, when you get to the ballpark, you had no idea what you're going to see that day, and fans that night certainly saw something that you might not ever see again, a cat invading the field and scratching up the grounds crew guy.
Yeah, well, if Bob ever gets his way, we'll see more of those cats.
Yeah, cat night.
Yeah. That would look like a little kitten.
That one wasn't very big.
I wonder how that ended up happening. These ballparks pretty sealed off, right? It didn't get through a knothole or something like that back in the old days.
I've seen just about every kind of animal get on the field at one time, and that's
like what?
Not the first time I've seen a ground crew member get lit up by a cat out there in the middle of the game. There was one, I believe it was in the Astrodome years ago. That, I mean, you could see that cat just bit right down on him. Not pleasant.
What other animals have you seen on the field before?
name it.
Grease pig?
Squirrels, dogs. The dog was my favorite.
Nova lines out for the second out.
The dog was during batting practice at an in-season game we had in San Juan a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
We're taking batting practice, and all of a sudden there's a pretty good-sized dog just walking around out in the outfield. Guys are just hitting, and then the dog walked right in the middle of left field, did some business right there, and then walked off. And so there, and it's just like, it was hysterical. I'm like, I was pointed out to Brownie. In fact, Brownie was actually on the phone doing like one of those phone interviews.
Yeah.
And so he did play-by-play on the action out in left field. But that was the most unusual. And then somebody had to grab a shovel and go out and clean it up. But that was a first for me. The dog actually going out and just kind of walking around.
Out to right again. But Marte retired for the second time. Quick inning for Waka. And he'll leave the field. Whether the Pirates are at home or away, you can always get your Pirates gear at the Majestic Clubhouse store on Federal Street at PNC Park. It's powered by Fanatics. They've got merchandise for fans of all ages, including customized jerseys and stadium exclusive merchandise. They're open from Monday through Friday 10 to 6, Saturday 11 to 5, and then of course during all Pirates home games. Got a cool spring training hat, for instance. Come up with all sorts of stuff.
It's always warm during spring training. You definitely need a cool hat.
Already comes with the cabbage leaf inside it. Back to the top of the order after a 10-pitch 1-2-3 inning by Nova, settling down in the second.
Willie Stargell trick.
Is that what he used to do? Put it right underneath the cap.
All kinds of old-time remedies that be used in spring training.
Pillbox style caps.
Cabbage leaf, keep it cool.
Well, you're talking about how at this ballpark, or not this one, but the previous incarnation, Busch, back on the AstroTurf, it would be so hot in those humid summer days.
July or so that everybody would come in, and there are quite a few people now, players now, they wear the plastic or rubber type cleats. Back then everybody wore steel, and you'd be out there and it just they get blisters on their feet. It was so hot. They come in, they actually stand in big trays of crushed ice back in the tunnel and cool their feet off in between innings.
From having to stand on that hot turf. Yeah, it's not like the artificial surface we see today.
Back then it was like you take a parking lot, put an inch of padding on it, cover it with a carpet, and that was it.
Yeah. So Nova issuing his second walk. Carpenter second in the league, drawing the most walks. So he's aboard to start the third. Colton Wong drew the other walk. Shallow left. Marte having to come a long way. Catch that at fair ground. That's the first out for Ivan Nova. Look at some of our Point Park tweets for the day, and Jack here at the ballpark today and converting some Cardinals fans like that. Spread the good word, Jack. Hashtag Bucks Booth. If you're here or you're anywhere and you want to show off your Pirate pride, we can do that. And DeYoung is 2 for 2. Nova unhappy with that last pitch. He hit his mitt after that.
Didn't like where he threw it, would be my guess, as far as the location. And he knows that's why he was so good last year and the first part of this year. The location.
Why can a pitcher have, very good location sometimes, not as good at other times?
I don't know. I never could figure it out. I would have loved to have known that. And, well, nobody really does.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the very few guys can really do that, and those are the soft tossers that make it to the Hall of Fame.
Way out in front of that changeup.
Greg Maddux is a perfect example. When he was a Cub, he threw pretty good. He had good fastball. I mean, he was more of a stuff guy as a Cub.
Yeah.
When he got to Atlanta, he started losing his velocity a little bit and became just strictly hit your spot, move the ball around, make it move a little bit type guy. And he made the Hall of Fame because he had it figured out.
Did just the one.
Smart move by Moroff.
No chance of getting Martinez.
They went with the pump fake, see if he could influence the safety. He didn't bite.
Got to see if Carpenter would come on home.
Well, immediately he looks to third after the fake to see if he can get him round in the bag. And if you have no chance over at first base, why throw it? What if the throw gets away? Now you cost yourself a run.
Heady play.
Very heady play. I like that.
For a rookie especially. Will come out and make sure they've got things straight for Molina.
This is kind of a replay, isn't it?
Oh yeah. There's 2 outs at first and third.
He took a ball that was a strike, but down and in corner of the strike zone, and was able to hit a ground ball with it the other way through the hole. Infield is spread out right now.
And Molina did that on 2 strikes as well. So Nova Thought maybe it could cap that inning. Try to move off the plate. Two on, two out. And deep out to left. Hooking. And gone. Yadier Molina has homered for the second straight game, and he's driven in all 4 runs today.
As a hitter, you really like that, I guess. You get the tower buzz, and then you go deep. Of course, as a pitcher, it can really sting. You go up, you knock him off the plate, you run under his chin, and that pitch goes out of the ballpark. Really missed his spot. Did you see where the target was there? He is set up, down and away, and it's control. That's the difference.
And that's where the pitch was that Molina hit out yesterday. Was a high and in slider from Chad Kuhl. That time a high and in fastball. 17th home run for Molina, the ageless catcher of the Cardinals, with a curtain call. '27th home run now allowed by Nova. Among the most in the league. That's maybe the difference between Nova of a couple of months ago and today is, you know, in that first inning, maybe he gets Molina. He got ahead of him. Second time around, maybe he gets Molina again. Then he's posting zeros, and it's maybe not a particularly crisp day, but still a very effective one. Now instead, already 4 runs across. And there's Polo Asensio and Benji Molina. Benji on the right there, Yadier's brother. One of the Cardinals Spanish language broadcasts. And then saying hello to Benji up in the booth. Longtime Major League catcher Benji Molina. Family of catchers, a trio of brothers.
Catching Molinas.
Yeah. Jose as well. Yadier now at 35, the 8-time All-Star, and he has really been a thorn in the side of the Pirates, not only this season, but throughout time. And the curveball strikes out Piscotty, but not before Molina's 3-run home run gives the Cardinals a 4-0 lead.
Drive Rav 4th inning. Toyota, what drives you?
Max Moroff will lead it off for the Buccos to trail 4-0 as we begin the 4th here in St. Louis. And our thoughts are along with Max. Look at the lowdown there. He tweeted out today. Stay safe, Florida. Moroff, a native of Winter Park, Florida, near Orlando, and just about every resident of Florida, perhaps in Irma's path. And as Irma made landfall today, we're thinking of all those who are bracing for the storm and those who have evacuated as well, including a couple of people I met yesterday in our hotel here in St. Louis. They brought their dogs with them, and they're just hoping for the best when they return. So our thoughts, along with Max, to everybody impacted by that terrible storm coming through right now. And Andrew McCutcheon, Fort Meade, Florida, as well, near the north central part of the state. Moroff working on a modest 5-game hitting streak, and has done well when he's gotten a little bit of extra play time here. As the little that he's played in the second half of this season, more and more lately. I think at 326 coming in.
Valuable experience. That's what this is about.
We've seen 2 different Max Moroffs already, right? I mean, started off 4 for 48 this year, and hit a home run, and all of a sudden looking a lot more like the player we saw in the minor leagues all year. Now let's take a look at our day automotive this day in Pirates history. 3 years ago today, Andrew McCutcheon with the previous inside the park home run. Hit it off of Jerome Williams of the Phillies, making his way all the way around. First inside the park home run for him, and now he'll have a base hit and likely more, as Grichuk making a terrific play to keep McCutcheon to a single.
A nice hand from the crowd.
That's almost always 2 bases.
And line drive over the third baseman's head.
From a knee, getting it into the cutoff man.
Yeah, would have had to be relayed to second base. He wouldn't have thrown anybody out.
So McCutcheon limited to a single there here with 1 out. Josh Bell trying to move him around. Bell struck out 3 times last night, only the 3rd time in his career that he's done that, even though he's put up the power.
3 more home runs, right?
To be the all-time Pirates rookie home run leader. If he got 3 more as well, it would tie the all-time rookie switch hitter record in baseball for home runs. Leads the ball club with 24. Ball and 2 strikes. Waka at just 40 pitches here in the 4th inning. Bell down on strikes. Waka very sharp today, has struck out 4 Pirates.
Yeah, his control has really been impressive. I mean, and this is an example of it. Got here right on that outside edge. Got the glove target right on the black. Walker placed it right there.
Throwing darts today. David Freese, though, solved him his first time. He doubled. teammates. He's been getting ahead. 11 of the first 14. And Walker with that changeup and especially the curveball. When you've got strike one, now he's got 3 options. Got to make it tough for the hitters.
Makes it tough for the pitchers when you don't get that call. That's a pretty good hook right there.
Yeah, all 3 pitches have
hit the zone.
Yeah, nicked the W.B. Mason strike zone. Used to play baseball on the street, and they had that one of those pitchback things, you know, the little net. Kick the ball right back for you. As long as it ticked it, it was a strike. So same thing with computer, right? As long as you get.
Yeah, in reality, any of those balls we show where, you know, you got half the ball on it and half the ball off, those in reality are kind of flip your coin. I mean, that's heads or tails, 50-50, whether they're going to be called a strike or called a ball.
And if it's
that one came up tails.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. Reality that if it's going to hit, you know, one of the borderlines, now technically that's a strike, but in reality, umpires, they're only going to call that pitch a strike maybe half the time.
Out 3-2. McCutchen goes, but Freese strikes out.
99 miles an hour on that fastball. Wow.
Walker strikes out 3 in the inning. He's very sharp today. Cardinals have a 4-0 lead. As we begin the bottom of the 4th on our UPMC scoreboard. You can save big with the Dick's Sporting Goods scorecard. Up to $10 off tickets in the outfield box for the remaining Sunday through Thursday home games. Go to pirates.com/scorecard and pick up your tickets today. Pirates have 1 homestand remaining. The 18th through the 27th. Brewers, these Cardinals, and then the Baltimore Orioles. Coming to PNC Park, your last chance. Watch a little baseball.
Well, interleague play right at the end of the year.
Yeah. It'll end at home how it started this season in Boston. Harrison Bader robbed of a hit on a very fine play by David Freese. finding that big hop at the last second. He can make some real good plays over there. Third base. Solid player. Raiders showing that good power. And Mark will hold it. 1 out. We're giving up the home run to Molina last inning. 3-run home run. Now Grichuk. Center, and just over the wall for a home run. Randall Grichuk hits his 20th, and the Cardinals are up 5-0.
I wasn't really sure. Well, at one point there, it looked like Jason and Kutch looked at each other, and then that's never a good sign.
Right down the middle.
It's hit well. They're kind of like looking, and then they look down at each other just before they got to the warning track.
Flower power from Grichuk. That's where Carpenter's home run went yesterday. Right in that garden. Now the pitcher Walker.
Got a little flower bed there, so fans can't actually reach over that home run fence. A little more decorative situation than say what you got in Chicago.
Just a chain link fence.
It serves the same point.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It keeps the fans back just far enough to where they can't reach and interfere with a home run ball.
There's the flowers.
Get that railing in the back there behind the flower bed. It's like some kind of ferns.
Maybe a baby's breath. I don't know. Walker strikes out. The dillweed. Sure.
Maybe some kind of a fern.
I trust your green thumbness more than
I have no
my own.
idea. That's why I said I think. I don't know.
If you know, all the botanists out there, hashtag Bucks Booth.
Yeah, what is it? Anybody knows what that is? Educate us.
You make the call. Like that old This Week in Baseball thing. They tell you different scenarios or whatever, and then
What happened?
Yeah, you'd have to do it, and then they come back from break and tell you.
This is what the umpire decided.
Yeah, right.
Without making a phone call.
Doug Harvey said that.
No lifelines back then for the umpires.
Now you might get a manager kick some dirt on you, but that's
not anymore. That's
about it.
One of the things that will always be in the history of baseball now, the old arguments.
Yeah, dust ups rarely happen these days, and if they do, they're usually pretty short. Carpenter today has struck out and walked. Nova has allowed a pair of home runs today, 28 now in total. And it'll stay foul. Now the Pirates team record is 32 home runs allowed in the season. Murray Dixon, my wife's grandmother used to bake pies for her.
For Murray?
Yeah, for Murray Dixon. That was her
home run pies.
Favorite pitcher for the Buccos back then. She liked Kiner and Murray Dixon.
Liked home runs, obviously.
Yeah.
Kiner hit him and Dixon threw him.
Here's the 2-2. Trying the hook and missed. And he struck him out. Well executed fastball. And Nova zipped the run out of a homer to Grichuk.
Is brought to you by the Chevy Silverado and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Beautiful afternoon here in St. Louis. Glad you're with us. 5-0. The Cardinals have the lead as we begin the fifth. Pirates trying to get one game of this series. The Cardinals won a couple of close ones here early. Last chance to see Busch Stadium this year.
Beautiful ballpark, huh? One of the best. Love what the way they've cut the grass. Look at those stripes. Unique, the narrow, the wide. See the arch in the back way. Or the back way. The archway in the back. Or the arch way in the back. I had all the words right. They just didn't go together.
Came up with a new term.
Yeah.
The gateway to the West. This was at one time St. Louis was the westernmost city in Major League Baseball until westward expansion in the late 50s. LA and San Francisco. That was back before plane travel. So trains travel, you come out.
Big. We used to stay down at the train station. Huge train station. Not that big anymore, obviously.
Union Station, actually a good walk from here. There were two teams in St. Louis for many number of years. The St. Louis Browns, who ended up moving to Baltimore prior to the 1954 season. So they had an American League outfit, which was far second fiddle to the Cardinals.
I'm going to ask Steve how long the train trip was out here.
I don't know if he was on the trains.
I know he wasn't, but I always say he was.
Those are some of the Cardinal greats. Red Cheney's still with us and often a visitor up here. Denora's own Stan Musial. And Slaughter. That's some of the great names. They've got a lot of history here. Retired numbers.
A whole slew of World Series banners flying above the scoreboard.
They make it known.
They're the Yankees of the National League.
And they've had success, so going to boast about it, of course. But
obviously, you got to those banners up there.
Two and two on Elias Diaz. Waka has recorded the last 4 outs via strikeout, make it 5. He has struck out 7 Pirates. So these flowers, thanks for helping us out through social media. And Sweet William.
Sweet Williams.
What we're seeing on the lowdown there. Phlox. That'd be a good words with friends word. Thank you for that.
The psyllium.
That's a psyllium answer. No, I don't know.
The phlox, that must have been developed in Philly.
Everything is pH, right?
Got to have a high pH soil to grow that.
Yes. Waka issues a 1-2-3 inning. Thanks to the botanists for helping us out. 5-0 Cardinals. Nissan road ahead. The Pirates will travel to Milwaukee to take on the Brewers. Stephen Brault will get the ball, the left-hander, against Brandon Woodruff of Milwaukee. A couple of young pitchers. Our coverage will begin at 7 o'clock tomorrow night from Miller Park. And the Brewers in action against the Chicago Cubs. They've taken the first 2 games of that series to make it a 3-game lead for the Cubs over both the Brewers and the Cardinals. Making it interesting here down the stretch, whereas most of the divisions in baseball have been decided seemingly months ago. Dodgers have been sliding. They've lost 9 in a row. I think we'd see that. And Nova makes quick work of Colton Wong.
And the Diamondbacks taking advantage. They've been shooting straight up.
Diamondbacks were something like 20 back. Now they're 10 games back, but very much in command of that first wild card. Nationals have a chance of clinching soon. Look at the low now.
10 games off their lead in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And that Brewers Cubs game right now 1-1 in the 4th. So Milwaukee could be within 2 games of the Cubs if they could win, and then obviously the Pirates will try to play spoilers against them as well. Arizona and the Dodgers in action. Rockies holding that second wild card right now.
I'm all for anybody winning other than the Cubs. So that's where I stand. I don't think it's going to happen. But
yeah, this late in the year, if you've got the advantage, doesn't mean you have it for sure, but obviously you'd much rather be in the position that they're in. Pirates will have 18 remaining after today. Young has singled twice, both through the left side of the infield, and this time the Pirates have employed a little bit different look, trying to shade those guys over to the left side. You see Mercer cutting down that hole a bit, and more off playing up the middle. Balls and 2 strikes. Nova has walked a couple today. Another payoff, and he struck him out. Curveball, and Nova has struck out 4 in a row.
But down 5-0. So horse might already be out of the barn.
Couple of home runs. Molina has driven in 4 today on a single and a 3-run home run. Grichuk homered. Jose Martinez 0 for 2 today.
0 for 3 now.
So gets the final out. 1-2-3 inning for Ivan Nova.
Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Ivan Nova going to be done for the day as the Cardinals have a 5-0 lead as we begin the 6th. Five innings for Nova, 5 hits, 5 runs. Walked 2, struck out 7, gave up a pair of home runs. And Chris Bostic will pinch hit for him. play right there at the bag. Come a long way to get it. Yeah, hit for Bostic. It is. Bostic's first big league hit came the other day in that driving rain in the ninth inning at the PNC Park.
Good solid one. That was your first.
Yeah, nice double. Collects a single here to start the Pirates' sixth inning. Just their third hit off Walker.
Austin, decent speeds. Good guy to get things started with.
Stole 8 bases down at Indy. Marte finds it foul. It's flat out deep to right both times.
Shade in the right field line. Oh, that direction. Expecting to go that way again. Hit him toward the line and right. Yeah, it's a little bit center, pretty much straight away and left. Spread out in the infield.
Pulled to third. To long to Martinez. And that erases the leadoff hit.
It's weird looking at that defense. It looks like an alignment you would have saw like 1972 or something. Infield spread out, shade them the other way in the outfield.
Most hitters used to hit that way. No defensive shifts and guys with the well, Wong, who couldn't handle that first ball, certainly got the turn there. We'll see Marte doubled up too often.
Carpenter doesn't exactly have a cannon for an arm. So that was a challenge for him, I would imagine, to turn that double play with Marte run.
Yeah, he's been playing at third because Jose Martinez swinging a hot bat. They've been working him over in at first. There's Martinez, the rookie, 29 years old. Moroff has struck out both times against Walker today.
Walker really is, and it's reflected in the score. He's been doing everything. He's been able to have a plus velocity on his fastball. The control to hit the edges is there. His secondary pitches have been all very good. That was a nice little changeup, I believe, there at the end, the last one. Another changeup.
And another tidy inning for Walker. He's shut out the Pirates through 6. 5-0 Cardinals. Their catcher, Yadier Molina, driving in the first run. 2 outs and 2 strikes on him back in that first inning. Big blow today. Third inning, 2 men aboard and 2 outs. Cranking that up and in pitch right down the line, and his brother Benji excited to see Yadier with the home run. And it's 4-0 Cardinals. They added another on a home run just over the fence by Randall Grichuk. 5-0 Cardinals as we begin the last of the 6th. Molina will start things against Wade LeBlanc.
Take a look at Wade's numbers on the year. Been used quite a bit. He's pushing up there toward 50 games now. Opponent batting average not too bad, 245. And 50 strikeouts. Some more strikeouts. I was going to say more strikeouts in innings, but that's not the case. More strikeouts in games. He's been in his innings. Not really like the usual left-hander. A lot of times when left-handers come in out of the bullpen, you see the innings is substantially less than how many games they are, because a lot of lefties are those situational guys they use for a hitter or two. LeBlanc more of a long man coming in.
He's got the first out.
There's several times this season where he's gone out there and he's pitched more than even just 1 inning. He's done 2, 3 innings. So,
3 in his last outing.
Yep. So that's why the innings are substantially above how many games he's appeared in.
I pitched 3 perfect innings Tuesday against the Cubs, and since being activated when the rosters expanded, he's faced 13 batters. He's retired 13 batters.
He's a hot shooter right now.
Well, it didn't throw very hard, but we've seen long periods of time where he's been very effective for the Pirates this year. After being acquired last year, about this time last year, in a trade with Seattle, and made the ball club out of spring training. LeBlanc's been up here all year. Is very rarely has he been in the big leagues a full season. You like to see that, those guys that whose careers have meandered from AAA to the big leagues and have some stability. LeBlanc now 33 years old. Pitched for 8 organizations and also in Japan. And it's going to roll foul. Nice punt.
It was a bad punt.
Actually, yeah.
Detroit Lion punt.
No, thanks. Yeah, I'm definitely cheering against the Cardinals today. Many accounts. They're leading in both places, though. 5-0 here. Doesn't want one. Agrees on the second call. Now the count even on Piscotty. 0 for 2 today. He's had an injury-plagued season. Good young hitter, but the numbers don't show it this year. Similar to Polanco, you know, a guy who really started to blossom last season as a young hitter, and was often their cleanup man, and injuries derailing him for good parts of the year. He even went to the minor leagues.
He and Grichuk both, I think, have been kind of.
There's Gregory.
You know, I saw those guys when they come up. Thought, wow, they got a couple of blue chippers there, but not really.
Underneath the glove of Mercer.
Maybe they do, but still young.
So they were on Mercer. Error for Mercer. Still one of the lowest totals among shortstops.
Talking to himself.
best fielding percentage at shortstop over the last 4 years in the National League, Jordy Mercer. Of course, there are other evaluators defense, but one of them. Usually the balls he gets to, he makes. So a rare miscue. Puts a man on for Harrison Bader.
Not sure if the numbers would back me up on this or not, but I always say the younger hitters have such a difficult time against good changeups. That's the thing that they just don't see a lot of coming up through the minor leagues, or the quality changeups that are in a good location, come in on any count.
That's really the first, you know, you learn the fastball obviously when you're 5 years old. Or 7, I guess, when you get out of coach pitch, throw. Then you can learn a changeup, right? Just to try to change the speed a little bit. Doesn't hurt the arm, like maybe a breaking pitch would.
The first time I noticed that was, I mean, years and years ago, back when I was a player with the Braves. Our ninth inning guy was Gene Garber.
Oh yeah, I remember Gene Garber. The twist, ex-Bucko.
A lot of changeups, and younger hitters, he would just eat them alive. He'd throw changeup after changeup after changeup, and they had no chance. And now the older guys, the veteran guys, they would sometimes give him a hard time with that. But rookies, no chance.
And Gene Garber came up with the Pirates and talked to him in spring training. He was with the Braves as a guest instructor. And I always liked watching him pitch too, because he'd have that kind of twist back towards second base.
He was on the mound. Pete Rose's hitting streak came to an end.
Is that right? There's a 44-game streak in '78. One hit well to center. And McCutcheon came close. Kind of got a glove on it. So Piscotty had to wait to see. He gets to third, and Bader at second. Men in scoring position with one out.
I wasn't sure. He got down to second base, kind of standing there with his foot on the bag to wait and see if the ball was going to be caught or not. And I think that the way that Kutch went after it, and it went in his glove and then rolled out right there, he wasn't sure until he saw it actually bounce on the ground. And then it was too late to move on. You can see the ball for a while was in Kutch's glove, and for right now, that has saved a run. Infield will have to play in, though.
And they'll walk Grichuk.
They're going to set up a double play with the intentional walk. Middle infield, anyway, will probably move back.
And Walker with just 69 pitches, and pitching so well that Mike Matheny would rather, with a lead, stick with his pitcher. Look at our Allegheny Health Network Supermo.
Yeah, that if this was, say, a 5-5 game, the intentional walk is just going to buy you a pinch hitter. But in this scenario, you're going to get Walker. Of course, if this was Cubs, you'd see a bunt right
here. The safety squeeze. Walker is not much of a hitter. 1 for 20 lifetime if you spread that out. So 050. I almost rather have him sit up there and take 3 strikes, right?
Yeah, and as a pitcher, you wouldn't mind if he put a ball in play, because it's a good chance to get a double play. And if you strike him out, now you're going to have to face Carpenter with the bases loaded.
Yeah. So he swung there. Sometimes you've seen pitchers in that scenario. They'll just tell you, put that bat on your shoulder to make it look like you're going to swing.
I've actually been told, go take 3. Don't swing. Don't even make it look like it.
The 1-2. Now even on Waka. Well, now very interesting. 3-2 on the opposing pitcher with the bases loaded. Carpenter on deck.
That is a ground ball here.
It's going to be deep enough to score a run.
That's not what you were looking for.
Also allows Bader to move to third. Cardinals lead is 6-0.
Good day for Walker. He's throwing a shutout. Got himself an RBI now.
Third run batted in this season for Michael Walker. So Bader to third. Grichuk remains at first. Cardinals adding to their lead. Conference with Ray Searage and Angel Sanchez beginning to loosen in the Pirates bullpen.
No shortage of arms. Make as many changes as you want this time of year.
Run across against LeBlanc. The error preceding the double. Now Matt Carpenter is struck out twice, looking both against Nova, also walked. Much lesser of a hitter against lefty pitchers. The power limited and hitting .204 overall. See the numbers there, and the slugging percentage against lefties only .327. Well, LeBlanc had an error behind him, a ball, very tough play for McCutchen that almost hauled in. Deep into center off of Bader, who's now at third. Grichuk intentionally walked across the diamond at first. Now ahead 1-2.
Taking a long time. Get back in that box. Must be hurt. Moving that foot around. Now he's ready.
And LeBlanc strikes him out. But the Cardinals had a run. 6-0 St. Louis through 6. now of the regular season upon us, and teams that have had great goes of it. Playoff picture will begin to form now. And the Marlins and the Braves tied at 5. Look at the lowdown, keep you updated on all the scores. Andrew McCutchen starts off the Pirates 7th. They have been stymied by Walker so far. McCutchen with one of the 3 hits. Singled his last time.
Got some good numbers against Walker. Kind of hoping, we talked about it early on, that maybe Cutch would have a little bit of a breakout game here. Maybe even find that home run stroke again.
Economical pitch wise, just the 17 pitches in the 4th. That's the only above average pitch inning that he's had, so he could go the route today if he keeps this up. Pirates try to get something going against him. It's the leadoff man. One time the leadoff man has reached, as Mejia in the game now for Carpenter, who must be hobbled. .75 pitches for Walker here with 1 out in the 7th. Bell is 0 for 2. Pirates got a 1-out double by Freeze in the 2nd. This one into that clear sky. Wong records his 2nd out. Two down against Walker. MLB.TV every night, every device. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live, plus get a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Freeze had that double in the 2nd. McCutchen's 1-out single in the 4th, and then Chris Bostic with a leadoff pinch single in the 6th. Those have been the only 3 base runners against Walker. Driven to the gap, and this will be extra bases for Freeze. Well, as soon as I say that, Bader making a nice play to get that ball in a hurry.
If it wasn't 6-zip, I think Freeze goes ahead, forces him to throw him out.
And that big grin on his face, that's usually 2.
Yeah, down by 6 runs, and absolutely cannot be making outs on the bases. So if there's a question whether you're going to make it or not, you throw the brakes on.
Cardinals really like Bader in center field, and though they've got Dexter Fowler signed for 4 more years, Bader's going to make a play on it with Fowler hurt right now.
Got a sheet there.
Yeah.
Who is this? Where do I play this guy?
Yeah, we're seeing that now. You know, the quarterbacks have that. Now the outfielders have that kind of stuff.
We've seen catchers with the thing on their forearm like a quarterback.
John Jaso 0 for 2 today. Bader played him perfectly. Looked at his wrist. He told him, "You stand here." Time to stretch. Pirates trail 6-0. Pirates tickets for the last homestand of the regular season, up to $10 per ticket on the select Sunday through Thursday home games at PNC Park. Get your tickets at pirates.com/connectcard. Here in St. Louis, the Cardinals have the advantage, and the Pirates will turn the ball over to Angel Sanchez.
Sanchez numbers in his 4 games not good because of the long ball. 4 games, 5 home runs. That will hurt you.
Colton Wong will start things. 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up for St. Louis. Yeah, long balls have been the difference primarily today. Of course, the pitching of Walker, but seeing 4 of the 6 runs scored off the long ball today for St. Louis. Pirates, meanwhile, the only home run that they've gotten since Tuesday was that inside the Parker by Frazier yesterday. Jordan Luplow has hit the last outside the park home run for the Pirates. Base hit for Wong. And speaking of rookie home runs, Paul DeJong coming up. He has accumulated a good number in our Barrel Automotive League leaders. He's actually now 3rd among National League rookies in home runs. Of course, Josh Bell up there and Cody Bellinger of the Dodgers. There's Bell.
You know, really, you look at that list, it's a pretty good year, good crop of rookie hitters. A lot of guys with the home runs. Happ up over 20 home runs.
Bell having a fine season, tied for the rookie RBI lead with Bellinger. Young with a couple of singles today. 96 from Sanchez. Very easy heat. Out of Tenares in the Dominican Republic, was an accounting major in college, and then went for 2.5 years and then signed with the Dodgers in 2010. Don't see a lot of young players from the Dominican Republic go to college first. They usually sign younger, but
14.
16.
I've seen him sign at 14.
Not legally.
Phillies had a 14-year-old. That was in the old days.
Oh, okay. All right. Moroff retires DeJong. One away. And Sanchez was saying that down in the Dominican, when you play college ball there, if you played professional baseball, you could still go and play collegiate baseball. It's not like in the U.S. So he would face a lot of guys.
Pretty good competition.
Yeah, maybe play the Dominican Summer League. Some guys had even reached A-ball, that kind of thing. So a handful of the guys had professional experience, and it was much better than, say your typical leftovers. No, this was a good talent, probably somewhat comparable to the U.S. in terms of ability. And Tommy John surgery that put him out all of last season after having a very good year, moving up the minor league ranks with the Pirates the year prior as a starting pitcher. But now, because of that Tommy John surgery, working out of the bullpen. Checking out the lowdown in Milwaukee, bidding for a sweep over the Cubs, and that would be a huge win for them. If Milwaukee wins that game, they're 2 games back. And if
a sweep over the Cubs all 3 games in Chicago too.
Yeah, great point.
It would be big.
Cardinals also hoping for that final as well. That would put St. Louis only 2 back, and we'd have 3 weeks of mayhem in the division. You're talking about the home run ball earlier, Bob. Sanchez he's given up 5 already.
Yeah.
He gave up 4 all year in AAA, but we've talked about this on and off the air about how there is such a chasm between pitching and AAA.
More than I have ever seen as far as numbers translating up here, stats. I don't understand it sometimes.
Yeah, because we were talking about Tyler Glasnow earlier, who was recalled today. One of 6 guys called back. Yeah.
When Max got up here for the first time, he'd already hit 13 home runs.
Yeah, this is early in the year. He was leading the league in home runs.
Well, 13 home runs for Moroff when he got here. And, he's hit a couple now since then, but.
He started 4 for 48.
Yeah, I was like, for some reason, the stat sheets that you see in the minor leagues, and then you see the guys come up here, they're just not playing up to those stat sheets.
And then sometimes you see a guy pop out of the woodwork and you go, well, where did this guy come from? Maybe didn't have great numbers, and then maybe the smaller major league ballparks, firmer ball, whatever it is, you see the home run numbers surge. So Moroff, getting some more playing time. Maybe in time we see those numbers kind of come back around. But you're right. It's been harder to evaluate, predict, maybe is the better word. So that's why September can be good. See these guys in a major league uniform and get a little idea of maybe characterizing what they did throughout the whole summer.
Always better to trust your eyes.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Martinez 0 for 3 today, and Sanchez being counseled by Diaz. A familiar battery often this year in AAA in Indianapolis.
And with the young guys covering the game, Diaz certainly has a good knowledge of what their pitches do, what their slider looks like, how much their fastball moves.
Yeah, the two paired quite a bit in Indy this year. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat. And that fastball at 97. Martinez has fouled off 5 pitches in this plate appearance. UPMC Sports Medicine strike zone. Most of those in the zone. That one a 1 hopper, 3-2. Pitch number 10 of this sequence. Another foul ball. I like to see these kind of things with these pitchers that we're unfamiliar with. You know, what can they do to put away a hitter like this? Cardinals cleanup man.
Very, very inexperienced cleanup man.
Yeah, a rookie himself.
What did you say, 29-year-old rookie?
Yeah. Great year 2 years ago in the Pacific Coast League. Cut loose by the Royals. Let him become a minor league free agent. Cardinals picked him up last year.
How often do you have a 29-year-old rookie? That's pretty odd, just right there.
Well, that was ball 4.
He's not looking for a walk. Swinging a bat like a cleanup hitter.
That's where Mike Matheny put him today. Has all series. Got a man aboard, 1 out. And on the 12th pitch, a base hit. And Wong will take advantage of the extra base.
A little battle there with Martinez, and he came out the winner. Looked like he almost hit like a knuckleball out toward it. It looked like it was knuckling as it was going through the infield. Not much bent to it. Walker had to freeze on the line drive. 1 out.
Still testing it and getting to third.
Still made it to third.
Now Yadier Molina, who was driven in 4 today. Only time he was retired was on a line out to short. Homered yesterday as well. At age 35, 17 homers and 71 RBIs. Had a thumb injury that really sapped his power for about 2 years, and then once he got healthy again, he's back to his old tricks. Poked out to Marte. And Wong will try him. He's in. And the Cardinals lead 7-0.
You know, another thing that about Molina, he's a 35-year-old catcher. And how often do we see him go behind the plate day game after night game? Doesn't make any difference. He will not. I mean, he's one of those guys you got to force to get him out of the lineup.
He leads all catchers in innings caught at age 35.
He is quite a player.
He's driven in 5 today. Martinez at first with 2 away. Piscotty 0 for 3. Reached on an error his last time. Those 5 RBIs for Molina, tying a career high. The other time he did that was back in 2010. Two balls and a strike on Piscotty. This will be the 25th pitch of the inning from Sanchez. And deep down the line.
Would be foul in the seats.
To Shy. And just foul. Well, you can cheat one right down that line. And 336 down the line. It gets out in a hurry. A little home run nook. ball straight out though, so hook it right around there. You might be able to get a little cheapy.
Ball kind of angled there, makes it interesting for the outfielders going to the corner to play that ball.
And Sanchez with a strikeout. Cardinals add one. Through 7, they lead by 7. Network Supermo. It's been all Cardinals so far, 7-0 through 7 here from St. Louis. Cardinals going for a series sweep. Pirates have 2 innings to turn that around against Michael Wacha. Elias Diaz 0 for 2. Pirates have garnered just 4 hits. Wacha has not walked anybody. And starting the inning at 82 pitches, very reasonable to think that he might go the distance, though his spot comes up next inning.
Fastball 96. Wacha still maintaining the velocity late here in the game.
And showing mastery of the strike zone as well. Bader is there for the first out. Brent Cecil is getting up. Left-hander for the Cardinals. So it might lead you to believe that Wacha may be lifted after 8 today. Or if the Pirates, of course, have an uprising here. Bottom of the order. Dovydas Nevrovskis up for the Pirates. That's a hard hit base hit. Jordy Mercer is aboard. His first hit of the day. And with the pitcher spot coming up, I'll say Osuna. A pinch hit for Angel Sanchez. Sanchez win an inning, gave up a couple of hits, a run, struck out a batter. Jose Osuna.
Stallings playing left field.
Oh boy! Wow. The third string catcher.
They had Jay playing left field yesterday.
Oh. They also had I forget who it was. Fowler playing for Pham in the opener, which was not correct. So they've now corrected part of it by introducing Starling Marte, but that's where Stallings is.
Like the PA guy is like me. He's going off the.
I mean, technically, he's in left field. He's out in the bullpen.
Oh, you know what? That's what they're. Yeah, he's in a left field bullpen. That's what that means.
Yeah, I mean, he's beyond the wall.
That's a good point.
Playing very deep, but he is in left field right now. So.
That's a good point.
They just took it very literally, that's all. Marte 0 for 3 today. Pirates have not had multiple men on in any inning against Waka today. With a curve ahead 1-2. Out to right again. Sent the ball out there 3 times today, but Scotty takes care of that. Pirates with a hit, but no more. 8 shutout innings for Michael Wacha. 7-0 St. Louis.
Check out the Barrel Hot list at barrel.com. Now the only way to buy a car. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go, Bucks!
Looks like Michael Wacha's day is done. 8 scoreless. Pirates would be glad to see him go. He was dominant today, scattering those 5 hits.
Quite a ball game, and he had it all going. He had the secondary pitches, the control. He had good velocity on the fastball, and he got himself an RBI at the plate.
Now coming on for the Buccos, Dovydas Neverauskas.
So he's starting to get some big league experience up here. 17 innings so far.
Came on with the lead last night, and that 2-out home run by Matt Carpenter that disappeared into the flocks out in right center.
Sweet William. What was the other one? A Cillian?
I think so. Trying to figure out what the greenery was out just in front of the folks in the outfield seats. Yeah. Thanks to the folks on Twitter helping us out with several different answers. Might be all three of those things. There they are. Oh, sweet William. Neverauskas will be counted on in some more of these situations. Not like today, of course. You know, one-sided affair, but like last night. Narrow lead late. Trying to test him out of those, like he operated in the minor leagues as well. So see if the rookie can be a key piece to the bullpen next season. That big arm. Bader to the right field corner. Jaso over. One away. And Neverauskas wants a new baseball to face Randall Grichuk. He had a home run similar to Carpenter's last night. All just disappearing into that flower box or the first row. Back of the fourth inning. Cardinals hitting a pair of home runs today. Molina with a 3-run home run in the third. Both came off Nova. Nova started today, gave up 5 runs in his 5 innings. Struck out 7. LeBlanc, Sanchez, and now Neverauskas. One more of a strike, but called a ball. $44,683 here today. Many of the folks have relocated for the day. It was a 4-0 game in that fourth inning, and he didn't get all of it, but got just enough for his 20th home run. Curve missing, making it 2-2.
That home run that he hit that we just showed up. And it was a solo home run and no big deal, but you know, that's the kind of thing, you know, when a team gets out in front like that and they can add on like 1 run here, 1 run there. That's what makes it so tough to run any kind of comeback. You know, not that that was any kind of big turning point or anything like that, but that's the kind of stuff that breaks your back. You got a pitcher out there that's rolling along against you, and then they add 1 here, add 1 there, and just it takes away any kind of a momentum shift that you ever get.
We look back at that game on Tuesday where the Pirates came back against the Cubs to win 4-3, and you know, LeBlanc in that game pitched 3 perfect innings. of relief. Pirates were down 4-0, and then, or I should say 3-2 at that one point, right? Yeah, 3-2, I beg your pardon. And then they're able to come back in that game and score late. Sometimes, you know, middle relief, or in this case, starting pitching. I mean, just that extra run here and there. But today, the way that Walker pitched, it was going to be all Michael Walker today. There are days where you don't hit well, and there are days where the other guy pitches very well, and I think this is more of the latter today with Walker. Carson Kelly. Heir apparent to Molina, but Molina signed to a contract extension this year. Fine looking young catcher, pinch hitting. And the Cardinals by far leading the National League in batting average with pinch hitters. Mercer with the catcher running. The big stretch, they get the out. Play by Mercer. A 1-2-3 inning for Neverauskas. 7-0 through 8. Against the Brewers, and Stephen Brault will get his second start. He'll be matched up against Brandon Woodruff of Milwaukee. Our coverage on AT Sportsnet begins at 7 with Pirates pregame, presented by WB Mason. And considering how it feels as Carson Kelly stays in the game to catch, with the Cardinals and Brewers are both closing in on the Cubs here in the final 3 weeks of the season. Again, that series will have some importance. John Gant will come aboard.
Well, just a couple of games under his belt to this point. Hasn't been in a game since the 1st of September. He'll try and get the final 3.
Moroff, McCutchen, and Bell scheduled to bat. Moroff has that 5-game hitting streak going, but 0 for 3 today. Michael Walker went 8 innings, 5 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Gant out of Wesley Chapel, Florida. 25-year-old. Last year appeared with Atlanta. Striking out more off.
Short hitting streak is over.
Long hair don't care. Now Andrew McCutchen, one of the 5 hits for the Pirates today against Walker. Well, all in all, complete day for St. Louis in this game. They hit well, obviously, but also defensively. I was thinking about McCutchen singled back in the 4th inning. That appeared to be like a double, and it was cut off nicely by Grichuk. A sliding play to limit McCutchen. A couple of plays today where I thought Freese's ball in the 7th would be a double as well, but Bader able to quickly cut it off.
It definitely has gone their way this whole series.
Now Andrew McCutchen with a 2-hit day. Now he'll get his double. Good to see McCutchen picking up an extra base hit. Just his 2nd now in his last 19 games. Right down the middle. And taking it to the opposite field.
Challenged him with a fastball there. Put that out, and the ball ran all the way to the warning track before Piscotty could get to it. Pretty easy double for Kutch.
Well, maybe a day like this, even though Pirates in a lopsided affair, this might be the day that McCutchen starts a hot streak again. Carrying over into that series in Milwaukee. Bell also quieted today, 0 for 3. So McCutchen and Freese with 2 hits apiece. Gant on in relief of Walker, who went the first 8. In between Hop and Mejia. It's the 2nd out. McCutchen has to stay at 2nd. Last chance for Clint Hurdle's Buccos today. The Cardinals poised for a 3-game sweep. Jordan Luplow will bat for Freese. Freese ends his day 2 for 3. Luplow has the last Pirates home run out of the ballpark back on Tuesday. Showing some good power. Couple of home runs with the Pirates, 23 in the minor leagues this year. Trying to keep this thing going down 7 here in the 9th.
The Pirates, we were talking earlier about looking for a little long ball help for next year. Maybe Luplow. Of course, the way the outfield's put together right now, there's no room at the end.
Well, he's forced his way to the big league roster after not being even invited to spring training this year. Played an A-ball, ended last season at Bradenton. Start of the year in Altoona, went to Indy and all the way up to the major leagues. John Gant had 2 strikes. And a little flare. And Bader is there. And the Cardinals
covers the ground.
Yeah, they like him. And they like the result today. The Cardinals shutting out the Pirates and earning the 3-game sweep.
very dominant fashion this afternoon. Pirates never really were in this one. Gave up runs early and offensively never a threat.
So the Cardinals trying to pick up a game on the Cubs, who are trailing right now to Milwaukee in the 8th inning. And win 3 important games this weekend. And the Pirates pack up and they'll take on those Brewers in Milwaukee tomorrow night. And meanwhile, let's talk about this one. Let's go out to Dan AT.
I start by saying Randall Grichuk